Everybody, welcome to the Pass the Bag podcast. It's not enough to get that bag. You got to know how to keep that bag. If you want to keep that bag, you got to share that bag. I am Agent Black. Tell them who you is.
REP to the two, Robert Edward Patterson the second. Want to give a shout out to my
Yeah,
parents for giving me a lovely name. Um,
for sure.
who are you, sir?
Agent Black, Agent Blackstock. Shouts to moms. Shouts to my grandma. She's turning
Hey,
75 this year.
hey,
It's a dope year. 2022, baby. Let's get into the book bag. So
books and
we talking
books.
about artists today. We're both writers. Like we both write for a living, in many ways. And so we want to get into 5 tips for combating musical writer's block. Let's just say writer's block, artist block in general.
Okay.
Uh, because I think these tips they work for all artists, and all you got to do is just freak it in your own way. But
Mhm.
I've been the reason why I wanted to talk about this because I've been meditating on this book called The Artist's Way. And if you ever get a chance to check it out, think it's by a lady named Julia Cameron. I think it's her name.
Let's pause for the
And
cause for a second, A.black. Hey,
yeah,
everybody out there at home, if you're listening to, if this is your first time listening to the Pass the Bag podcast, we want you to subscribe, press whatever buttons that you have to pass, press bookmark us. Go ahead, tell your mother, your grandmother, your neighbors, the dogs, tell everybody about the
tell
Pass
your
the Bag
mom,
podcast.
tell your
We just want
mom.
we just want you to keep coming back, and also we have this is our third season, and we have seasons 1 and 2 are out there in the world. You can find us most places where podcasts exist. And thank you very much.
Indubitably, without question. All right. So Julia Cameron wrote a book called The Artist's Way, and The Artist's Way is basically like a way for artists to maintain their creativity and things that they do. So she gives a few tips. The few tips she gives is like always write morning pages, take yourself on artist dates, find your inner naysayer, name them, and learn how to dismiss them. If you think that you'll be too old to learn something new, you'll be just as old whether you try that new thing or not. So it doesn't matter if you're old. And set aside 20 minutes twice a week to take a walk without a destination or your cell phone. And so I've been meditating on the book and those principles. Um, do you write every day, bro?
I do. I do write every
Nice.
day.
When do you write? Do you write in like the mornings and the evenings? It's like what's your writer's routine?
Well, my journal goes with me most everywhere that I go. I will even sometimes sleep with my journal in the bed with me. And, there are a lot of times, maybe let's say at least 50% of the time, I will write in the morning, first thing in the morning, in the first 2 hours of me being awake. But if I don't do that, then I make sure that my journal goes with me. If I take a walk, my current lifestyle has been walking 1, 2 kilometers maximum. I'm sitting down, I'm having a meal. I will make sure that I break open the journal and that I get into the mix. So yeah, most of my writing does get done within my first, let's say, 4 hours of being awake. But yeah, it just so happens to be the pattern at the moment. But I'm also pretty good at doing it in the evening. How about yourself?
I write every day. I write 5 out of 7 days a week.
Hmm.
I try to do my journal every morning. I usually
Hmm.
Monday through Friday is easier to do. Saturday and Sundays I sleep in, so sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't.
Hmm.
Um, and now ever since I've been reading The Artist's Way, I've been writing the 16. I've been writing a verse every morning, so that's been my routine. Writing a
Hmm.
rap verse, hot 16 every morning, and
Hmm.
that's been liberating in some ways. I was also been meditating on the idea of unnecessary creation, like doing things unnecessarily in order to like spark your creativity. So I have been like just unnecessarily writing songs, but I also write for my job. I write SEO content and copyright and things of that nature. So So I'm writing every day, but for different reasons. My journal is electronic, so I take it everywhere with me because it's on my phone. um, and but yeah, I'm writing stuff down. I'm always taking notes. I'm the guy that if we're in a meeting, I got my laptop or on my phone, and I'm just typing the whole time because I'm basically like just transcribing everything. So
Yeah, I agree.
before I get into these tips on ways to combat writer's block, artist block, what's one tip that you have that you use to combat artist block as a person who writes every day, writes for a living? What do you do to if you feel a block creatively?
Well, this is my ace in the hole, and I'm happy to share it with the world here. And you know, I'm looking forward to. Uh, Part of me doesn't want to let go of it, but I'm gonna go ahead and let go of it. I just haven't found a way to monetize it yet, and I think that just comes from me not having had a manager soon enough. Listen,
Right.
the key is that when you have writer's block, write about having writer's block, and
Right.
then you find yourself writing, and so you can't have writer's block if you're writing. And writer's
Right.
block comes from different places, at different days or different nights. So, if and when you have writer's block and you write about the experience of having writer's block, then there's absolutely no way that that you cannot write. That's the answer to that question.
Yeah, I've that's incredible, and I've found myself getting blocked while writing only because I'm judging what I'm writing. So
Hmm.
that would also be something that I would say. I would say just write and don't judge yourself. Like
Hmm.
even if it's something really simple, it's the most simple wordplay, simple bars, it's like cliche metaphors. Write it anyway. Get it out. Because once you get the ideas out, you create more space for new ideas. And so yeah, those are our tips from Pass the Bag. You can take those with you. So let's get into the book bag. We in the book bag, and we're talking about art, creativity, how to stop artist block. This article is from Reverb Nation. It's a artist platform for musicians sending them checks. Um, it says number one, experiment on a new instrument. So I think with writing, I would say maybe experiment with a new style. Like write if you write with pen, if you always write in pen in your notebook, write on your computer. Or if you always write, in the lounge at the library, then write in your bedroom or write in the bathroom, right? In a new environment, do something new, experiment in a new way of writing. If you always write poetry, try writing a play or try writing, something that you wouldn't normally write. So experiment,
Indeed, indeed,
uh,
indeed. I like that. Mix it up.
mix it up.
A tattoo
Um,
gun. Grab a crayon.
right.
Grab some spray paint.
I love that. Yeah, graffiti. Graffiti is a great way to write. I'm being in Spain. There's a lot of graffiti. I love it. It's graffiti everywhere. I'm always reading all the time, walking around like, yeah, I wonder who this person is. I wonder who this gang is. I wonder who this. And then sometimes I'm creating stories based on the graffiti that I see, their inspirations and stuff. So yeah, graffiti is a great way to get some to spark that creativity. Number two, explode your process and try something different. It says you can change your writing process by doing what you typically do last first or starting in a new and unfamiliar way. Do you ever do this?
A lot of times, for me, doing that means because I have different writing prompt websites and things like that bookmarked. So that's something
Nice.
that I do. Sometimes it's just give up the control and just tune into someone else who I know has a portfolio that I respect or something like that. Tune into their advice or tune into a place where they're dealing with writing and workshopping, and just give it a go like that. Hmm.
Yeah, prompts are great. The artist way talks about prompts. If you're having trouble creating, to ask people around you for ideas of what to create. Get some prompts. Go to some writing prompts websites. So yeah, that's a great way to explode your process to do something different. All right, number three, Collaborate with someone new. The newness of working with someone new can get you thinking about what's possible in music in different and exciting ways. So collaboration. It's always great. We've been talking about teamwork all day, all night. Collaborating with the right people will help take you to the next level. Um, have you had any particular collaborations that helped you go to the next level?
When I was in Shanghai, I was working with and in a lot of capacities, mentoring a young writer, and yeah, it was fantastic. It was a breath of fresh air to have someone to share their voice and share their performance style, and to be able to listen also to their feedback, and understand the type of place that my voice or that my particular style of creativity has in the world. And then also here up in Mahon Song province, Pai, there's a really, really, really super duper talented artist. Maybe we can get some links or something like that from him and include them. And the guy has a wonderful, he calls it his man cave, but it's really a studio, a wonderful music studio. So he runs the Machina out of there, out of a fantastic setup. He doesn't use the MPC guy, he uses the Machina. And I was in there one time in the cave, and he built a beat in about 15 minutes, and inside of that, I definitely threw some heat down. We didn't record it, unfortunately, but it happened. We were there. So those have been two experiences from my recent. I mean, Shanghai was a long time ago now, but yeah, that's what's happening. That's the bag. That's what's in the bag.
Yeah.
How about you?
So collaborate. Well, recently I've been collaborating with my band, but I'm in Valencia, where Berkeley College of Music, Berkeley School of Music is, the
Mhm.
European campus, and just being, I guess, in circles with so many really talented artists that are studying, that are pursuing music in a way that I didn't get to, has been inspiring, and also been like, I've been learning a lot. So number four, seek out new music. You'll be inspired by the new stuff that you hear. So if you're a writer, seek out new writers. Read some new stuff. Read stuff that you wouldn't normally read. Seek out the new. What's a new artist, writer, creative that you're into now?
Well,
Give us one.
I'll tell you something. I want to give a shout out to you know the phenomenal artist out of Buffalo, Benny the Butcher. No, he's not the
Woo!
newest. Yeah, Benny is not the newest artist, but I do feel
Right.
like Benny is worth mentioning. I could have mentioned a couple other people, but the reason why I'm mentioning Benny is because having grown up with hip hop and with rap music, and not necessarily seeking out new artists on a regular basis. I'm just at that point where my ears, I don't really, seek out the new artists. Something about, their voices, or, the way that, technology and the platforms have shifted and things like that. The things that I don't necessarily want to hear in the art that a lot of guys are, they're still putting in there, right? In terms of, their perspective, when you're dealing with negativity, when you're dealing with adversity, when you're dealing with a lot of these things like that, it needs to be delivered in a way, where it's digestible, where it's palatable, and everybody has different palates and different digestive systems. For me, Benny the Butcher is fantastic to listen to, because Benny is certified in terms of when you talk about street guys who, of course, the street will always be inside of them, but that they're setting a fantastic example, because they literally went through that thing, and then now they're using art as a way to push them. And when their listeners and their contemporaries are intelligent enough to get the point, to push other people away from the streets, as opposed to
Right.
artists who uh, really are not certified, and then they talk about these types of things, the violence or the drugs or the struggle or whatever, but they're just mentioning those things because it'll make their music, sound quote better unquote or whatever. This is why I love Benny the Butcher is a certified street dude who, got it right. He got it. He woke up, had the opportunity to be able to move away from those things through his art, and he's an incredible talent.
Thanks.
How about you, sir?
Thanks. And new artist. All right, I've been on a new app. I'm gonna go a different way with it. I've been using the 12-minute app and sending them checks. 12-minute app.
Checks.
Which is an app that when every day they give you a new book, or you can like listen to the 12-minute version of any book, basically. And so that's been my shower routine. I put the book on, I get in the shower, I listen to the book, I'll clean myself, bathe myself, love myself. And yeah, so that's been really helpful for me. Because I get exposed to new artists all the time. And that's how I found out about The Artist's Way, and Julia Cameron was actually through that app. And there's another one called Blinkist. So I've been using them both because sometimes they don't work and sometimes they do. So I have the two, and I go back and forth between the two.
Check, please.
Right. So number 5, and the last principle for combating artist block or understanding artist block, maybe let's go that route. Give yourself a break. Hitting the pause button allows you to recharge your creative energies and develop new ideas. Has this been a particular? Have you ever had a moment where you gave yourself a break and you really felt it, and you was like, and then you were able to get back into it?
Yeah, 100%, without a doubt. I'm coming off of that type of break right now. So when the Muses project, gets off the ground and on his feet, I mean, I think that what happens is that there are times where if you're asking people their reflections on what it is that you're doing artistically, and the positive feedback that you're getting seems consistent, and you want to really scrutinize it, you have to find people who really have reputations for, like, they're not there to please you, right? Like if there's something that they think is weak about the situation, or something that they feel like they feel like this thing won't go through or whatever, then yeah, you have to seek out those voices, right? Because some people are just those type of people. They can be like some mothers, they'll tell you that you're doing great when you really suck. But yeah, it is a wonderful thing. Lately, I took a lot of time to rest, and I do feel that whatever it is that might be a good idea, or that might be some sort of innovative or positive or entertaining creative magic that is inside of this project Muses, that the rest is definitely part of that formula.
Yeah. I haven't been putting out my own music because I've just been focusing on other projects, other bands, and things of that nature. So I've been resting from my art, and now that I'm getting back into it, recording my own songs again, writing stuff just for myself, it feels great, and I'm excited, and I'm emboldened by the process of trying to outdo myself. So yes, the breaks are necessary. What tips do you have, our community? Let us know, how do you overcome artist block? Have these tips been useful for you? Has the podcast been useful? Let us know what you think. Find us. If you're just looking for Pass the Bag, you just gotta look for Pass the Bag, and you'll find us. I'm sure you'll find us. So, anything else you want to leave the people with, my brother?
We just want the people to know that when it comes to building, Bagville, Bag City, Bagtown, Bagonia, Baglantis, when it comes to building this thing up, right now we are the chief architects. We are welcoming other people to come and join the building team with us. The Pass the Bag podcast is something that we've been working on for years now. We love this thing, and we bring this thing from our hearts. And so we do want you to know that we're so happy to have you tuning in. We want to give a big shout out to everybody who's been there with us from the beginning. We want to give a big shout out to everybody who just arrived. And again, listen, y'all, it's not enough for you to get the bag. You got to know how to keep the bag. And if you want to take care of the bag, you got to share that bag. Sharing is caring. This is the Pass the Bag podcast. This is a beautiful honor and privilege to have y'all with us. Thank you.